Jennie Allen, Get Out of Your Head, Stopping the Spiral of Toxic Thoughts. In the book Get Out of Your Head, Stopping the Spiral of Toxic Thoughts, Jennie Allen provides a guide on how to break free from the grip of negative thoughts by reconnecting with your faith and embracing the power of silence and community. Through a combination of personal anecdotes, biblical references, and scientific evidence, Allen demonstrates the importance of cultivating a strong relationship with God, surrounding oneself with supportive individuals, and incorporating gratitude and humility to combat negativity. The summary provided explores these topics in greater depth and provides actionable strategies to help readers transform their mental landscape and foster a more positive mindset.
Embrace silence, connect with God. In a world filled with distractions, we often seek solace in other people or activities. However, genuine peace and healing can be found by embracing silence and connecting with God. By actively listening to our thoughts, we can confront our emotions and make positive choices that strengthen our relationship with God. Silence provides a space for reflection, growth, and sincere connection with our spiritual side. In the hustle and bustle of modern life, it's far too easy to get caught up in distractions, whether it's our social media feed or taking on too much work. Amidst all this noise, one potent remedy remains overlooked: silence, combined with personal time spent with God. A friend of the author divulged her life's overwhelming problems, prompting the realization that what her friend needed most was time alone with God. This advice extends to us all. Embracing silence and confiding in God can bring immense relief and clarity. Science supports the benefit of silence and stillness. Prayer and meditation have been shown to physically change our brain structure, enabling us to reconfigure our thinking patterns through quiet contemplation. But why do we find it difficult to adopt this simple practice? Often, the fear of being alone with our thoughts, recognizing the need for change, could be the driving force behind our constant search for distractions. However, confronting these negative thoughts is the initial and essential step to overcoming them. When we pay attention to our internal dialogue, it allows us to decipher our unresolved emotions. Instead of dwelling on the reasons behind our distress, we can add a proactive and positive twist to our thoughts. For instance, when feeling overwhelmed, choose to be grateful for the opportunities presented to us. When faced with anger, consider God's kindness in our lives. By acknowledging our negative emotions and reframing them as opportunities for growth and connection with God, we can make a deliberate choice to follow a more spiritually aligned path. Don't fear silence, embrace it as an avenue to gain wisdom, strength, and the opportunity to draw closer to God. Embracing the power of community. Connecting with God is essential, however, it shouldn't be the only focus. Community plays a crucial role in our spiritual well-being. Despite living in a world that values independence, it is important to surround ourselves with like-minded people who share our love for Jesus. Opening up to others, sharing our deepest fears, and embracing new experiences will allow us to harness the power of community, making us stronger and more spiritually fulfilled. Having quality time with God is vital, but we must also recognize the importance of being part of a community. Even God exists as a community in the form of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. The contemporary world often emphasizes the pursuit of independence. However, deep down, we all crave human connection, the need to be seen, and the longing for love. Taking inspiration from the Apostle Paul, the author suggests looking around and befriending those who are following Christ's example. We must surround ourselves with strong friends who have a love for Jesus. Opening up to others might be challenging, especially if you're introverted, had negative experiences with friendships, or unfamiliar with your surroundings. Despite these hurdles, it is essential to push through and cultivate connections, as there is nothing God wants more than for us to make friends and grow together. Overcoming the fear of reaching out to new people will eventually lead to comfort in doing so. Embracing invitations and new experiences will unravel opportunities to harness the power of community. Trusting your friends completely and sharing your deepest fears with them enables you to open your heart and allow love and support to pour in. An example of this transformative power is shared when the author describes a friend's experience of confiding her temptations and indiscretions. Once brought to light, the sinful thoughts vanished, and her marriage was rescued. Our strength lies in our unity with others. Choosing to reveal our true selves and allowing love into our lives will help break free from negative thoughts and pave the way for a more fulfilling spiritual journey. Overcoming negative thoughts. Acknowledging negative thoughts and examining their validity can help break their power over you. Write them down, consult your faith, and make a conscious choice to defeat them. Trust in God's plan for a healthy mindset and focus on the beauty around you. This practice can increase selflessness, generosity, and combat cynicism, as you turn your attention to God and the wonder of His creations. Negative thoughts can hold immense power over us, but by simply acknowledging them, we can begin to break free from their grip. The Bible advises us to take every thought captive to obey Christ. One way to do this is by writing down the troubling thoughts and examining them closely. Question their validity and consider what God may think of these thoughts. Reach out to your religious community for guidance and make a conscious decision whether to let them continue to bother you or to overcome them. Submitting your thoughts to God requires trust that He can help you replace these negative thoughts with ones that strengthen and uplift you. If you struggle with trusting God, try focusing on the beauty in the world around you. For example, during a Bible study, one can examine a leaf in its intricate detail, a testament to the careful work God put into creating it and an even greater reminder of His care in creating our lives. Science backs this approach, as experiencing awe can make us less self-centered. Allowing yourself to be awed by the world's beauty can shift your focus from yourself to others, increasing generosity and fostering a healthier mindset. Furthermore, concentrating on the world's beauty can help fight cynicism, another symptom of mistrusting God. Redirecting your gaze from the world's flaws to the infinite wonders created by God can fill you with the trust that He will not let you down. Embrace gratitude and humility. Jennie's friends learned that adopting an attitude of gratitude and humility can transform their lives, even in challenging situations. Embracing gratitude allowed them to appreciate things they had taken for granted and find joy in their circumstances. Humility helped them remember their true purpose, serving God and others. Adopting these virtues can lead to a better understanding of one's part in the grand scheme and a more fulfilling life. When Jennie's friend felt trapped in her monotonous job, discovering a passage from Philippians 1 ignited a change in her perspective. Despite Paul's confinement under house arrest, he expressed immense gratitude. Inspired by his resilience, Jennie's friend decided to focus on the positive aspects of her job and make the most of her situation. This shift in attitude not only made her feel happier but also helped her forge better relationships with her colleagues and find joy in her work. Gratitude can work wonders in our lives, lifting us from negative thought spirals, and empowering us to see the bright side of things. It also extends to facing extreme situations. When another friend of Jennie's was diagnosed with ALS, a rare incurable disease, he and his wife relied on their faith, remaining grateful for God's plan. After his passing, his wife continued to trust in God's direction for her life. Accepting and being grateful for our circumstances doesn't mean we must always like them, but it does call for us to learn from them. Equally important is cultivating humility, understanding that we are not the center of the universe. Living a humble life means not expecting constant praise or good fortune. Instead, remain composed even during trying times. Far from admitting failure, this outlook helps us remember our true calling, to serve God and others. Embracing gratitude and humility helps us navigate life's challenges with grace and allows us to experience a more meaningful and fulfilling existence. Joyful service to others. Jesus spent much of his time engaged in simple acts of kindness, focusing on forgiveness, grace, and aiding those in need. Emulating his example, we don't need to perform miracles, but rather serve others, not for thanks or praise, but for God. This approach to life not only enriches others' lives but also instills joy and purpose in our own, since our brains thrive when we have purpose. Reject complacency and heed the call to serve for a truly fulfilling, God-centered existence. In examining Jesus' existence, we find that he often focused on humble acts of service and kindness. Offering words of forgiveness and grace or helping the poor were common ways in which Jesus acted for the betterment of others. He didn't do these for recognition, but because it was in service to God. We, too, can take part in this fulfilling way of life. Assisting others could come in the form of helping your children or completing tasks around the house that may seem thankless. But remember, the goal is not to receive appreciation, but rather to serve God through our actions. Embracing service not only benefits others but also brings joy and fulfillment into our own lives. Following God's path aligns with our core nature, as our brains are designed to find purpose and satisfaction in serving others. In providing aid, our brains perceive a reward, ultimately reducing stress and promoting better sleep. Devoting one's life to service might not come naturally to everyone, but that's to be expected. More often than not, we tend to gravitate towards complacency, spending hours scrolling on our phones or lounging on the couch. However, listening to the quiet voice within, urging us to act, leads to a more meaningful existence. Jesus once said, "It is more blessed to give than to receive." So, let us follow his advice and concentrate on serving others for the glory of God. Rejecting complacency and actively engaging in service will pave the way for a truly rich and rewarding life. 10 minutes to positivity. Escaping a negative spiral of thoughts may seem daunting, but focusing on faith and understanding our thoughts can make a meaningful difference. By turning to God, one can overcome feelings of insecurity and inadequacy. Surprisingly, it only takes 10 minutes to rewire our brain's neurons, giving us the chance to start anew and cultivate positive thoughts that can uplift not just ourselves, but also those around us. Jennie's 18-month struggle with negativity serves as an inspiring example. Her breakthrough came when she shifted her focus to Jesus, dedicated her mind to God, and embarked on a positive upward spiral that led her to write a book about her transformative journey. Like Jennie, we all grapple with self-doubt and insecurity. The crux lies in how we handle these thoughts. Turning to God and sharing our fears can dissolve the negativity that threatens our well-being. Trusting that God will guide us through our struggles is essential. While the process of rewiring our mindset might seem challenging, scientific evidence proves that it's actually attainable. Our brains consist of neurons containing minute components called microtubules, which are responsible for the neuron structure. Remarkably, it only takes 10 minutes for these microtubules to assemble the neuron structure, meaning our brains can be rewired in just a short amount of time. The implication is powerful: you're always just 10 minutes away from a fresh start. By embracing this concept, you can kickstart a positive cycle of thoughts, ultimately improving your mood, impacting those around you, and deepening your connection to God.
Jennie Allen's Get Out of Your Head offers readers a powerful approach to overcoming toxic thought patterns and embracing a spiritually nourishing lifestyle that fosters positive transformation. By engaging with God, confiding in trusted friends, practicing gratitude and humility, and utilizing purpose-driven service to others, we are better equipped to vanquish negative thoughts and cultivate a resilient, optimistic mindset. The book emphasizes that although it may not be easy to break free from the grip of negative thoughts, a fresh start is always within reach, and it is possible to rewrite the script of our minds through faith, community, and personal growth.